Hey guys, welcome to Displacement Garage. My name is Carisha, aka Mustang Carisha. I am so excited to tell you guys everything you need to know about the 20-year history of Mustang Houdini. You're gonna learn everything you need to know about the myths, the legends, the lore. Let's get into it. First of all, I would like to say my Nana bought this car, a 2000 Mustang GT. It's a 4.6 liter automatic. It was fresh off the lot for her, and that's where everything begins. A little bit about my Nana. My Nana was my favorite person in the whole world. I was so lucky to learn about life with her. She was an inspiration to me and my sister. She was so kind to every single person that she met. She had grace and compassion for every single person. She made everybody's lives better, no matter if it was a small interaction or a big interaction. She is the person that I still look up to today. My Nana ended up getting really sick with cancer. We discovered whenever it was much too late for her to do any kind of treatments and things like that. It was whenever I was 16, and she takes my hands and she has a serious conversation with me about her wanting me to have the vehicle, that she wants to make sure that it's mine and that I know, to pay attention to this conversation. She's making it very serious. When my grandmother passed, the title was not signed over to my name. It was signed over to somebody else. At this point, I am still allowed to use the vehicle. I am able to take my sister to school, myself to school, take us to practices, run errands for the adults in the family, try to fill in my Nana's shoes as much as they could push me into them. During my time in high school, it was very much, if you don't do these things for the family, the car will be taken away. We won't give you insurance papers to drive. We won't do anything for you involving the car anymore. It'll be reported as stolen. We'll tow it, etc., etc. I started learning on Mustang forums and started doing small projects on the car. This is kind of where the tinkering side came into play. It was something that, nobody had influenced me on. It was something that I kind of just wanted to learn how things worked. Started taking stuff apart and started learning different things to do to a car on a budget. Started researching simple fixes on cars, basic maintenance, things like that. Some of the people that I met in the Mustang forums, I'm still friends with today. That's where high school me was at. Mustang Carisha and Mustang Houdini were born at this time, and that has stayed with us the entire time. So that is something beautiful that came out of that. I took Mustang Houdini to college at UTC in Chattanooga. The threats continued on him being taken away the entire time I was there. This is the part where I got enough distance where I could start doing things on my own to the car, and I did feel a little bit more independent as a person, but also as a car enthusiast. I was able to do a few things here and there to the vehicle. I ended up doing cool things like taking my friends on mountain roads we had never been on. We went to the Tail of the Dragon, local roads as well. We were traveling to bigger car meets at this point too. We went to Knoxville, which was massive. And then we went to Atlanta. It was the biggest car meet I think I've ever been to. And then I also started doing work for General Tire, Nope, and Continental Tire and Ford as well. This was a big part of my life where I started doing modeling and brand ambassador work for them. So that was something where I was taking that car to and from those locations as well as school and work. Something that happened to Houdini while we were in Chattanooga is he actually had the spark plug blast up into the coil pack, blast up into the hood from the third cylinder. It was completely nuts. I tried to fix it by myself with helicoil in a parking lot. That was complete chaos. I also did learn how to do some simple body work in the same apartment complex, and we also dropped the fuel tank in the same apartment complex. So, if you want professionalism, that was pretty much it as a young adult. I moved back into this area as a young adult. Houdini is still being threatened to be taken away if I don't comply with certain things in the family. I start doing everything I can to kind of fix minor issues that are popping up with him at the time. It was becoming too difficult to daily drive Houdini at this point, and I knew I needed another daily. I didn't want just a regular daily. I did want something that was sporty, and I fell in love with a bright blue 2009 Nissan 370Z. I'm sure you guys have seen that one. That was the next car that I got after Houdini. Several moves later, I'm building and living in a tiny house. I have the 370Z and the Mustang GT at the same location. We had a bad storm one night, and it actually blew the tree over onto the car, I think from a lightning strike that happened on the tree. And unfortunately, Mustang Houdini, he did get a lot of damage from that. The roof, the front glass, and many other places on the car, but that was the biggest, was the passenger front side was damaged. I'm gonna skip a lot of the bad stuff that happened over the next couple years as it doesn't pertain to the vehicle. My sister and I moved. We left Mustang Houdini at that property. He was not gonna be titled over in my name. Things continue to happen at that property and get worse. About 4 months later, the Mustang needs to be removed. I decide not to take him because the title's not gonna be signed over in my name. I don't want this vehicle to be reported lost, stolen, or whatever else. My sister and I are told that Houdini has been left at a relative's house and that it's mine and I can go get it. It just had to be moved off the old property. I did not want it again at this point because it's not gonna be signed over to my name. I don't want anybody else to have any more control or power over me. I need to just let it go. It's not the right time. If it's meant to be, it'll come back. Cut to about October of 2024. I start having these weird feelings and dreams about the car. For some reason, I feel like I need to try to figure out what's going on with it. It's weird, but trust me, I'm getting the car back before my Nana's birthday on December 10th. And I know I will get it. And I'm telling everybody, like, everybody thinks I'm completely crazy, but I just have this gut feeling. And that's simply what it was. It was a gut feeling. We have alerts set on Facebook Marketplace for just about everything, but I had specific ones for Mustang, Mustang GT, 4.6 liter, anything that I can think of that would be a potential part out, potential damaged vehicle. I'm not sure what condition it is in at this point. I don't know if it's at scrap yards. I'm looking up online to see if I can trace down any kind of clues on the vehicle. I've got friends looking, I've got family members looking. November hits. I'm really feeling that I'm getting Houdini back and I need to amp up my game. So what I ended up doing was I messaged a few relatives and I said, have you guys seen of my Nana's car? You know, this is what it looks like. Have you guys seen or heard of it? A lot of people didn't want to get involved. A lot of people didn't want to answer, which is understandable. I wouldn't want to be involved either. But then somebody said, you know, we know where it is. I get the relative's phone number that bought the vehicle. It wasn't actually kept on somebody's property for safekeeping. It was sold. So I contacted that person and then they gave me the phone number to the guy that purchased it from them. I contacted that person with phone call and text and I sent them photos of the vehicle, a brief history with it, like I would love to buy it back, or if you know somebody that has it after you, I would love to know their information if you don't mind sharing that with me. Nothing came from that. We're still searching the internet, pan to about 2 to 3 weeks later. We're checking almost every day, you know, for this vehicle to pop up. You know, it's almost obsessive at this point trying to track down this vehicle and we have no leads, no nothing. Hasty yells at me from the other room, baby, come in here. I come in here and I sit down and he starts going through these photos. He's like, let me show you this car I found. Okay. So we start going through the photos of the car and it's a beautiful black Mustang GT. It's got damage on the front of the car. You know, you can see the little touches that I've done to it. It's my car. It's Mustang Houdini. I was so freaking excited. There are not even words to describe how I was feeling. I scroll through all the photos. I send him a message. Hasty sends him a message. Everything was leading up to this moment that I've been waiting on for so long. And it was finally gonna be mine and it was gonna be titled to me. And it was gonna be something that I could make happy memories in, and it would be all the happy memories that me and my sister had already had. It was gonna be not negative things that had happened in the past. It was gonna be my sister rolling up her ice cream cone in the window, her little kid boogers in a tissue getting thrown out the window and it getting stuck to my spoiler booger side down. It was going to be all these goofy little memories that we've experienced together over the years. It was going to be me, you know, moving to college. It was going to be me getting all these professional high-end jobs. It was going to be all these great memories, and that's all I've ever wanted from this whole experience. Is I want that car with no burden, no you have to answer to somebody, to have something that your grandmother gave to you. I just want that gift with no stipulations on it, and now is my time. So Hasty and I both ended up messaging the seller. I'm sleeping with my phone in my hand. I barely am sleeping, if that. It's back and forth all night. Like checking the screen, no new notifications, no nothing. I'm worried all night that it's already been sold or something. It's been about 5 hours since it was first posted, since we saw it. And I'm thinking, you know, here it goes again. I'm gonna miss it again. Hasty and I both messaged that fella on Sunday morning. He said that he could meet me on Monday. I said, Hasty, go ahead and message him. I think you're ahead of me in line. So he messaged and he surprised me and said on Sunday after breakfast, he was like, we're gonna go get your car today. Oh my gosh, the tears were rolling. And yes, I've had to film this a couple times because I've cried just about every time that I've tried to film this whole thing, and I have to keep pausing to take breaks so I can cover up my little sniffles. I was being too much of a baby over a vehicle. Quite honestly, I look a little goofy, and if you're not into cars, you don't get it. And if you don't have very many things from your grandmother and you got something back that was hers, you might get it, even if you're not into cars. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of layers here to go through. We loaded up the truck and trailer and we went to go get my car. We're talking to the guy that has the title to the vehicle. He didn't sign it over into his name. What happened from Nana to where we're at now, title-wise, is Nana had the title. Title was signed over to another individual. Individual signed over to a relative in the family. The family member sold it to somebody. They didn't title it in their name. That person sold it to somebody else, didn't title it in their name. That person traded it for another vehicle and didn't title it in their name. So it's been through all these hands, and now it's right back where it should have been from day one. I'm beyond excited to see this vehicle. I'm going through the whole thing. I'm so excited to see it again. And for the first time in forever, it feels like it's mine. Like truly mine. There's no better feeling than that. One last thing I'm gonna tell you guys before we wrap it up. As a special reminder of my Nana, I'm going to have the paperwork officially registered on her birthday on December 10th. Hopefully you guys will be seeing that then. Hopefully this video will be uploaded by then, but just know it's a sentimental day for me, and I'd like to just show you guys the car at this point, if you guys would like to look. Thank you.